Welcome back to TheWindowDog.com. Today we're taking a look at the very important question of whether or not your existing blinds will fit back up once you have new replacement windows installed. We run into salespeople all the time that don't seem to be able to explain this to folks, leading to a lot of confusion down the road. Today we're going to show you exactly how this works so you'll know once and for all. Hang on to your hats. Alright, so here we are in our top secret test layer where we found an old window with an old set of blinds. This is exactly like the type of products we see in people's homes every single day, so it's going to be a great example. To get started on identifying whether or not these blinds will go back up after the window is replaced, first we're going to get the blinds off of here so we can take a look at how the brackets are attached. So we'll get these out of here. You pull out these little clips. There you go. Blind's gone. Now we'll take a look at these clips. To take a look at how the clips are attached, we see we've got a screw, two screws on each side going that way into the jamb. You can see the same is going right there. Now since we know how a new window is going to be installed, it's going to be up flush against the interior stops. This is an old wood sash window that's going to be removed. The track's going to be removed, but the interior stops are going to stay right where they are. So you can see that the brackets for these blinds are to the inside of the interior stops. So the way our company would replace these windows, these brackets would be able to stay right there. Now we would have to take them down so that we could caulk up behind it to seal the window into the home, but there would be no need to move these blinds. We could put them right back up into the same holes that they're attached with now. So this window would be just fine with new blinds. The way to tell if your window would be fine with new blinds is to ask the salesperson exactly how the new windows will be installed. If they don't seem to be able to explain it or they're not quite sure, you probably need to find a company that knows more about it or understand that you're rolling the dice and your blinds may not work at the end. In this case, we can look at where the sill is on the window. We know a new window is going to butt up against this existing sill at the bottom, so we know it's not going to come any further to the inside than that. So as long as this line carries right up here and doesn't affect the position of our brackets, we know we have no problem. Now the time people see a problem more often is when their existing windows are either aluminum frames or old vinyl frame windows. Those will typically be a much thinner frame, and by thinner I mean the depth that it expands out from the house. In those cases, if your brackets are right up against your interior of your aluminum frame, if the aluminum frame is say 2.5 inches thick, all new replacement windows are 3.25 inches thick. That means it's going to come into the house a little farther than your old windows did, in which case the blinds are going to need to be moved farther into the room. If you have a nice big jamb, the jamb being the surface right here, if you have a nice deep jamb, maybe there's a drywall return or a nice deep pocket there for your windows, you can move those blinds forward an inch. It'd be no big deal. It's just two screws, get your little drill out, it'll be done in no time. If you don't have that much space to the inside, say you only have about a 1/2 inch in that return, and the new window is going to be about an inch thicker than the old one, you're not going to have any space for those blinds. So you're going to need to attach them a new way if you want to reuse them. Now the blinds we had here were cheap pieces of junk, so you probably wouldn't reuse them anyway. But assuming you have nicer blinds, you're going to want to then need brackets that attach a different way in order to fit on there. If you have fancy new blinds, you should probably call the company that sold them to you. They'll probably be able to provide you with a new bracket. But the moral of the story is to understand whether or not your blinds are going to fit, you have to understand how the new windows are going to go in. If the salesperson or the contractor that's proposing new windows can't explain it to you, you need to find somebody who can. And if you're thinking about doing it yourself, you ought to have a pretty good idea of how the windows are going to go in before you order them, or you'll never be able to measure them right. So hopefully that helps understand how this works. The crux of it is, as long as the brackets are inside of the last point that's going to be altered, it'll go back up no problem. If the existing frames are metal or vinyl, you want to be particularly careful because new construction metal windows will often be thinner. So blinds like this, no problem at all. Most of the time when you have wood windows, it's no problem at all, but it's not true every time. So to find more information on replacement windows, check us out at TheWindowDog.com, the absolute greatest source for replacement window information on the entire internet. If you have any questions or comments or thoughts or ideas, feel free to post a note for us on there, and we'll do our best to get back with you as soon as we can. Enjoy!